Ho ho ho! Welcome to the Piano Podcast. Santa's back again this year to teach all the little boys and girls around the world another holiday song that they can play on the piano for all their family and friends this holiday season. It only uses about 3 or 4 different chords, so pull up a piano and play along with Santa. Ho ho ho! This tune is in A major, so make sure every time that you play this song that you make all the F's, C's, and G's sharp. Otherwise, Santa will leave a lump of coal in your stocking. Ho ho ho! Here's the first of the 3 main chords that this song uses. Put your right hand thumb on A, third finger on C sharp, and then the 5th finger on E. And that spells an A major triad in root position. Here's the second of the 3 main chords that this song uses. Slide your right hand thumb down a half step to G sharp. The middle note will move down a whole step to B with your 2nd finger, which should be already over it, and the 5th finger should stay on E. And that spells an E major triad in first inversion. Many times you'll see it labeled as E major / G sharp, which tells you that it's inverted so that the G sharp is on the bottom. Make sure when you change between the A major and the E major chords that you don't twist your hand like this, because you'll just give yourself tendinitis for Christmas. Ho ho ho! So to avoid hurting yourself, play the A major chord a little bit higher on the keys than you normally would. And then when you play the E over G sharp chord, make sure the thumb is just at the edge of the black key. You'll probably have to play the 2nd finger a little bit higher on the skinnier part of the white key so it fits the natural contour of the hand. And same thing goes with the 5th finger on the key to a certain degree. The same goes with the third of the 3 main chords that this song uses. Use your right hand thumb on F sharp, 2nd finger on A, and the 5th finger on D. And that's a D major in first inversion, and it's sometimes labeled as D major over F sharp, since it's in an inversion with F sharp in the bass. You'll notice that every note is just a whole step lower than the E major chord that you played just a second ago. So use the same fingering, and again, don't twist, but slide your hand forward so it doesn't hurt when you play it. So to rehash, our 3 chords, we got A major with 1, 3, 5, E major over G sharp with 1, 2, 5, and D major over F sharp with 1, 2, 5. Practice that about 1,000,000 times and then you're ready to apply it to this classic holiday piece. If you want the sheet music with all the notes and the lyrics, you could go to my favorite website at marioahero.blogspot.com. Scroll down on the right hand side and you'll find a section where you could buy all sorts of different types of sheet music. And you'll find one link for the classic Adam's Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler. Ho ho ho! If you click on that, it will take you to the first page which you can print out and try for yourself before you decide to buy the whole song and lyrics from musicnotes.com. Santa knows that there are lots of boys and girls in Cherry Hill, New Jersey who would love to get a copy of this sheet music for the holiday season. Ho ho ho! The first 4 measures is the introduction, but also the chorus for the whole song. Here you start off with the A major chord for 2 beats, and then the E major chord for 2 beats. But you'll notice that there's this funky rhythm with the E major chord. It's got a 16th rest, followed by a 16th note, then an 8th note, and then a quarter note. It looks a lot harder than it really sounds here, so listen to the way that Santa plays the whole first measure here. And this is how it sounds with the words here. 2, 3, 4. Put on your yarmulke. You do the same thing in measure 2, but instead of playing 2 A major chords, you play the D major chord instead, and then go to the E major chord with the exact same rhythm that you did a second ago. So it should sound like this. So play the first two measures along with me here. 2, 3, 4. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. Now if you look at the third and fourth measures, you'll notice that they're the same thing. The A major with the E major, and then also the D major with the E major again here. So if we do all four measures, it should sound like this here. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Ho, ho, ho. Now the next four measures shows what chords you should play during the verses. You notice that the left hand starts playing notes in the bass clef. It's easy to know which one to play because it's always the root of the chord. For example, the first left hand note that you play is this A, to go with the A major triad that you play in the right hand. You play it with the fifth finger so that the other fingers can cover the other notes without having to move your other hand. Play E with your first finger or your thumb when you play the E major chord, and then play the D with your second finger when you play the D major chord with your right hand. So the first two measures of the first verse goes like this. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Ho, ho, ho. And then in the last part here, in the next two measures I should say, the A major goes for 2 counts, E major for 2 counts, then we have a different chord here. Now we have a different chord. Let's take a closer look at this chord. This one is called a B minor chord. All right. In the left hand, what you want to play is B with your fourth finger. And in your right hand, you should play F sharp, B, and D with 1, 3, and 5 respectively. You'll notice that it's only one note different from the D major chord, which is the very next chord. Just change the middle note to A with your second finger, and of course change the left hand to D when you play the D major chord. So here again is the B minor. Whoops, I'm covering up the B. Here's the B. Here's the B. Here's the D. And then finally end it with an E major chord. Although the sheet music left out the E in the right hand. But I don't think anyone's going to beat you up with a menorah if you play it with the E on top. Ho, ho, ho. So these two measures go like this. Instead of 1 day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights. So let's see if you could play that first verse along with me here. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of 1 day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights. Ho, ho, ho. And that's how most of the song goes. If you want the sheet music and lyrics for the rest of it, don't forget to go to mariohero.blogspot.com and click on the link to buy the sheet music. Santa receives a small commission from any of the music that you buy from any of those links, so I appreciate the support, and it will help me buy a new Santa hat and beard. Ho, ho, ho! So have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah and a great New Year, and keep practicing your piano. Ho, ho, ho!